Today we'll briefly see the history of Java and some important features of Java. Before we start, I assume all of you have learned C and C++ because it's going to be the base for Java. Now, if you have a good programming practice of C language, if you remember the concepts, and if you know object-oriented programming in C++, then Java is going to be a very powerful option for you programmers. The basic idea of Java when it all started in 1991 was not to be a programming language which was supposed to be used on computers. Initially, it was designed to operate hardware. Now, what do you mean by operate hardware? See, in 1991, the cable TV scene was a very big scene in US, where there was requirement of software which could handle the set-top box. Now, the concept of set-top box is very common nowadays, but in 1991, it was limited to US, but it was very popular in US. There was a need of a programming language which should be able to drive the set-top box. Now, these people in Sun Microsystems in 1991, under the guidance of Mr. James Gosling, who is basically the one who wrote Java, they started to write a programming language. Fortunately, the language was such a powerful language that the set-top boxes of that time were not able to cope up with the power of this language. Initially, when Java was designed, it was named as Green. There is no explanation why it was named as Green, but it was named as Green. A few days later, it was renamed as Oak, probably referring to some oak tree outside their office, and eventually it was named as Java. Now, few people have tried to elaborate the word Java into something, but mind well, it's a simple word Java. Java actually is a island, Java Sumatra, you must have heard, an island in Indonesia, where they get a very good quality of coffee. So as you know, in US coffee is more popular than tea. In India we prefer tea, but in US coffee is more popular, so they must have kept the name as Java. Anyways, in 1995 Java was launched, and while launching Java in 1995, these people of Sun Microsystems, they totally removed the idea of hardware sort of language and they converted into a complete programming language. Now, when it was launched, you won't believe, in the year 1995, when internet was not available very freely, tens and thousands of downloads were visible for Java. Now, why Java was popular in the very first instance itself? So there are many things related to Java. I'll just elaborate a few things for you people. The very first thing was that Java was a very simple programming language. It did not have any complications. In fact, all the syntaxes of Java were taken from C and C++. So usually when a programmer learns C and C++, it's very easy for him to transit to Java, because the syntax wise everything in Java is commonly taken from C and C++. They had a base of C and C++. Secondly, the most important word as far as Java is concerned is that it's a platform independent language. Now, what do you mean by platform independency? See, earlier what used to happen is when C and C++ programs were compiled on a computer, the executable file of these programs was restrictive in nature. Restrictive in the sense, it could run only on the computers which were similar to the one on which the program was compiled. Now, say for instance, if I compile a program on Windows operating system, it won't work on Mac or Linux. Similarly, if I compile a program on Linux, it won't work on other operating systems. So, Java came out with an idea of JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine. What these people did was, when the program was compiled, it did not take into factor the operating system or the machine language parameters. It simply compiled the source code, nothing else. Now this small software called as JVM was supposed to be placed on every computer. When I take my compiled Java program, which is called as a bytecode, onto some machine which does not have Java, it would obviously have JVM. Now what JVM does is that it uses the bytecode plus the host operating system parameters plus the all the machine parameters, I would say, and then execute the program on that particular machine. So this came as a very fresh concept of Java, and people used to use the concept of Java using JVM. So platform independency was one of the highest feature of Java. Then it's a very robust programming language. It's a very secure programming language. Now when I mean to say secure, see, you know, C and C++ allows you to use pointers, though it's a very important concept and we can create wonders using pointers, but still pointers allows you to access memory. Now when I am writing a software and my program accesses the memory of the host's computer, the client's computer, I may do something which is wrong. I may try to access the other contents of the memory. My software may not be that, I would say, secure. What Java does is, though internally it uses pointers, it doesn't allow a programmer to use pointers. So the concept of security is very powerful in Java. It is also called as architecturally independent programming language, in the sense, if I compile a C program on different operating systems, I'll get different bytes allocation for my variables. Somewhere an integer variable will occupy 2 bytes, somewhere it may occupy 4 bytes, depending upon the compiler or the operating system I am executing the program on. Java is very strict with that. It is architecturally independent programming language. So when I execute a program on any sort of operating system, the bytes consumption of my variables will remain same. It doesn't make any difference. One of the most highlighting feature I feel about Java is exception handling. Now what do you mean by exception handling? See, when I execute a program and that program leads to some sort of runtime error, in C and C++, usually the program crashes, the software crashes. Java internally has got a very strong exception handling mechanism where in all circumstances your program will get executed properly. It will never allow your program to crash when the program is getting executed. So this is one of the most important highlight of Java. And coming to a feature which made Java so famous was the concept of multi-threading, wherein a single program could perform multiple processes or operations simultaneously. If you have an experience of programming, you must be knowing that at a time only one part of a program gets executed. Now using multi-threading, Java allowed a programmer to operate or perform multiple operations simultaneously. Like say if you're watching a news channel, you can see the face of the newsreader. Some animation is going on below the face. That is the message is getting scrolled. Two things are taking place simultaneously on the screen. Sometimes the logo of the channel is also in animated mode. Now in such situations, I would say multi-threading is taking place. One program is handling the channel animation, one program is handling the scrolling of the message, one program is handling the newsreader's actual voice and video. So all these things taking place simultaneously. This is what multi-threading stands for, and Java gives you a very strong concept of multi-threading. So these things, when came into existence in 1995, it was an instant hit. Now a small trivia about Sun Microsystems. As you know, it's the parent company which developed Java. But in 2010, Oracle Corporation took over Sun Microsystems, and now Java is a product of Oracle Corporation. So now if you wish to download Java, you'll get all the things on the Oracle website. So let's hope Java gives you a very boost in your programming career, because most of the things you'll be doing in programming can be handled by Java. It's said that anything under the sky, if you can imagine in programming, can be definitely done with Java in very simple way. There are very simple methods of doing this. Some people love to hate Java. I don't know why. Some people love to hate Java. These are the people who don't know the power of Java. Some people say that other languages are far more powerful than Java, but I tend to ignore these people, because Java has so many tools, so many options for you, that as a programmer, if you master Java, then everything the inner software field can be handled by Java. So I hope this is a basic introduction to Java, and I hope it puts you at ease with learning Java. Thank you.